Okay, so now, like I said, there are three different lots. Can you hear me, please? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we have three different lots. First of all, we have the micro lots. We have the micro lots. So the micro lots are the ones that start from 0.01 all the way to 0.09. Those are micro lots, right? So mini lots, 0.1 all the way to 0.99. Those are mini lots. Then standard lots, 1.0 and above. And above. So those are that's the standard lot. 1.0. Now, when I say when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the volume here. Now, if you notice, you see 0.01, right? Can we see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So when you see a drop down, then when you click on that drop down, you will see. Oh, hold on. Let me look for another pair that can show this. Okay, so look at this. Look at this. You see 0.01 all the way to 0.05, but then it doesn't stop here. This is just, I think they just did it like this so you can, well, you can always customize it. You can change this now, for example, 0.09. It still highlights, right? Even though that doesn't appear here, you can always use that, all right? So now you will notice okay, this one doesn't have, they just use the summary here. But basically, this is what I'm talking about. This volume, where you have volume here. So 0.01 to 0.09 is micro lots. So when you pick any of those ones, you are dealing with micro lots. You have 0.1 to 0.99, you are dealing with mini lots. 1.0 and above, you are dealing with standard lots. All right?
Okay.
So now what does this mean? Like I said this money, this $1 here is not your lot size, is the dollar value of your lot size. Right? Is the dollar value of your lot size. So how do you get the lot size now out of the dollar value? So this is how that's done. For a micro lot, 0.01 has a dollar value. Has a dollar value of 0.1 dollars. Okay, 0.1 has a lot size, which is a micro lot, has a dollar value of $0.1, which is 10 cents. 10 cents. Yeah, let's do it like that so you can see, which is 10 cents. So what that means now is this. If you have 0.05, what will be the dollar value? Let somebody answer me.
That would be 50 cents.
That would be what?
50 cents.
Great. So you are catching it.
50 cents.
50 cents, great. All right. So now, that's it. So then from mini lots, 0.1 has a dollar value, of $1. 1.0 has a dollar value of 1.0. Then a standard lot, which is 1.0, has a dollar value of $10. Okay. So do we see this clearly now?
Yes.
Okay. So fine. Now this is what it is. So it means that if you have a lot size of 0.5, what will it be in dollar value? 1 pip. Now this is the value of 1 pip. 1 pip. All right. So when I say 0.01 has a dollar value of 10 cents, it means that that is the value for 1 pip. 1 pip.
1 pip.
Okay, this dollar value I'm talking about here is the dollar value for 1 pip movement, up or down, up or down. 1 pip movement up or down. All right. So now if you have 50 cents, if you have 0.5, what is the dollar value for 1 pip? 0.5. 0.5 is a mini lot, right? It falls into the mini lot category.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be $5.
$5. Great. So if we have great. So if we have a standard lot of 2.0, what will be the dollar value? 2.0.
That will be $20.
$20 per pip.
$20.
Yeah, so that is a standard lot. So we have mini lots, we have micro lots, we have standard lots. So what this tells us now is this. Can somebody now answer me? What is the lot size associated with this now? What is the lot size? Lot size equal to what? Now we said the dollar value of the lot size is $1. So what is the sorry, I made a mistake. What is the lot size? The dollar value of the lot size is $1. What is the lot size?
That's a mini lot size.
Okay, a mini lot. So what is the lot size itself?
The lot size is 0.1.
Great. 0.1. So do we understand that?
Yes.
Maureen, do you understand that?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I understand.
You understand? John, you are following?
I understand. Yes.
Are you following? Mr.
I'm following.
Are you following? I didn't hear him. Okay. All right. I guess you're following. You are smiling. The way you're smiling. All right. So do we understand? Do we understand this explanation I've done? Or do we have any questions concerning this?
Yes.
I can proceed, right?
No, sir, it is clear. Yeah, proceed, yeah.
No, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay, great. All right. So now this is how you calculate. This is how you, by the time you pick your trade now remember we're talking about a hypothetical trade here of Euro USD that has a stop loss of 30 pips. And then we already determined that our risk per trade was $30, which is 3% on our account, right? Okay, so now when we come to this trade, let's say we pick a trade here and we were to trade Euro USD. Let me see, do I have a demo account here? Let me change this demo account here. Let me see, this demo account is still working. Okay, so now this is a demo account. Let's just pick Euro USD. And let's do this in chat. So now this is Euro USD. All right. So now let's say we are entering a trade. Let's say we're entering a trade one. We've already set everything. So we are now going to use 0.1 according to the calculations we did just now. We're now going to use 0.1. So we are not going to put a stop loss of 30 pips. We'll calculate that already. By the time we get to how to calculate pips, you will understand how we do this one, how we get this one done. All right. So now that's for that. So this is the trade we are now going to. This is where we now put that 0.1. This is where we are going to use it. All right. So it's going to be now for a sell or a buy, whatever. Okay. All right. So that's for that. So the next thing we're going to talk about now is let's see what our outline was. Okay, so money management, risk management, stop loss. Okay, now risk reward. Risk reward is the next thing I want to talk about. Risk reward. Okay, so let's talk about risk reward. Risk to reward. Risk to reward. So now we've discussed before, and we've agreed and seen that your risk per trade, in terms of your pip movement, is your stop loss. So basically, your risk is your stop loss. The risk on your trade is your stop loss. So basically, your risk is your stop loss. Your risk is your stop loss. Okay? Your risk is your stop loss. On every trade, the risk you are taking is your stop loss, because if your trade goes to your stop loss, you will lose that money that you have risked. You will lose that money, that your risk per trade that you calculated, that is what you will lose. So that is your stop loss. Your stop loss is your risk. So now, for every trade we want to take, we do not enter any trade because we want to lose money. All right? We enter because we want to make money. So that is where the reward comes in. We are only risking our money on any trade because we have seen the possibility of the reward. We are only risking our money on any trade because we have seen the possibility of a reward. We have seen the trade, we have done our numbers, we have done our calculations, our analysis, and we have seen that there is a huge possibility, a very good possibility for us to get rewarded from that trade, or get a reward from that trade. That was why we are taking a risk with our money on that trade. All right? That's why we're taking a risk on our money. So what is going to be our reward? Our reward is going to be our take profits. So risk is stop loss. Risk equals stop loss. So our risk is equal stop loss, while our reward equals take profit. Okay? So our risk is the stop loss, our reward is our take profit. Okay? So now, when we talk about risk reward, we are talking about the relationship between our risk and our reward. How much of our risk do we intend to profit? If we are risking $30, if we are risking 3% of our account, how many percent do we target to make? That is the meaning of risk reward. If we are risking $30, if we are risking $30, 3%, what is our target to make? Because we are in the market to make money, not to lose money. We are only risking money because that's the only way. There is no reward without risk. right? You have to open a shop or start a business and invest money or invest whatever you have to invest in order to make money. Because without the risk, there's no reward. But the reward is the goal. The goal is the reward. Okay, so now I have risked, I've made a risk of 3%. What is my target? So risk reward is expressed as a percentage. Risk to reward is expressed as a percentage. So risk reward is expressed as a percentage. So what that means is this: how many percent of my reward, how many percent of my risk is my reward? So when we have, is expressed as a ratio. Sorry, I made a mistake with that. It's expressed as a ratio. In a sense, it's still a percentage, but let's just go with ratio. So it's expressed as a ratio. All right. So now, if you have 1-to-1, these are some of the ratios we have. We have 1-to-1. Okay. 1-to-1. We have 1-to-2. We have 1-to-3. We can even have up to 1-to-5. We can have up to 1-to-5. So what this means, what we are talking about here is this. The one is your risk. Remember, risk to reward. Risk to reward. Risk to reward. All right? So the one is your risk. The left-hand side is your risk. The right-hand side is your reward. The left-hand side is your risk. The right-hand side is your reward. So now, when you have a risk of 1, what is your reward? So if your risk reward is 1-to-1, it means that if you are risking 3% on your trade, your target is also 3%. Which means that if you are risking 30 pips on a trade as your stop loss, your take profit is also going to be 30 pips. So for 1-to-2, if you are risking 30 pips on the trade, it means that your trade is going to now have 60 pips. Okay, so let's put that there so we can be clear. So if you have a stop loss of 30, sorry, if you have a stop loss of 30 pips, it means that you are going to, for 1-to-1, it means that you're also going to have a 30 pips take profits. Okay, so if you have a stop loss of 30 pips for risk for 1-to-2, it means that you're going to have a 60 pip take profit. All right. 1-to-3, if you have a 30 pips stop loss, it means you're going to have a 90 pips take profit. For 1-to-5, now of course there's 1-to-4. I just decided to skip that. Okay, I just decided to skip that. So for 1-to-5, if you have a 30, so for 1-to-5, if you have a 30 pips stop loss, it means you're going to have a 150 pips take profit. Do we understand this? Let's get a yes. Let's get an amen. Let's know if we understand this. Do we understand this?
Yes, yes.
We understand that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. John, I'm not hearing your voice.
Yes.
Okay, so this is very, very important. For most of the time, you may not get a risk reward that is 1-to-5. Now, this is for people who do what is called swing trading. swing trading that the trade may last for days or even weeks. Typically, they are the ones that get 1 to 5. But I will tell you that your trade must be at least 1 to 1, at least 1 to 1. Your trade must be at least 1 to 1. It shouldn't be less than that, because if it's less than that, you are stacking the odds against you. You are stacking the odds against you if your risk is less than 1 to 1, which means that on a trade, your reward is now less than your risk. Your potential reward is now less than your potential risk. Sorry guys, internet issues. Internet issues, please. I had to get another internet today to add to the one I have before, so I don't have any breakage. All right, so okay, so it still looks like the one I had before is still stronger than the one I got today. So I don't really know. All right, so this is what it is. So every time, for every trade you take, your risk reward should be a minimum of 1 to 1. Minimum of 1 to 1. Because if your risk reward is not up to 1 to 1, you are stacking the odds against you. It means that your potential risk is more than your potential win. It does not make sense. It depends on strategy. If you have a strategy that has low win rates, you will not make money with a strategy that does not have good risk reward. All right, there are some strategies that have a 70% win rate. What that means is that if you take 10 trades, you will win like 7 times out of 10, which means on the remaining 3 trades, you may make a loss, right? So if you use a risk reward that is less than 1 to 1, you will not make money, even though you are making winning trades. You will not make money. You will not have a winning trade, a winning curve. You won't have a curve that is going up. Your equity curve will not be rising. You will not be making money. So that's the reason it's advisable to use a minimum of 1 to 1. In fact, if you get 1 to 2, 1 to 3, you are far, far better off. Okay? But 1 to 1 must be the minimum. For any reasonable trading, 1 to 1 must be the minimum. Otherwise, you stack the odds against you. All right? So that is for risk reward. Do we understand risk reward? So this is something we are going to be using in our trades. All these things we are doing, they are things that we are establishing that we are going to use for our trades. All right? So tomorrow when you are setting a trade and your stop loss is 40 pips, you know that 1 to 1 risk reward is ringing in your mind. Hey, if I'm setting stop loss of 40 pips, I cannot be setting take profit of 20 pips. So if I'm setting stop loss, the markets, remember I said that there is a way to determine where your stop loss should be. It's not just a random figure. It's not just an arbitrary figure that you pick and say, okay, I'll take 20 pips or I'll take 30 pips. No, it's the market. It is the structure. It is charts. It is the chart that tells you where your stop loss should be, So by the time you see that, and your stop loss, the chart tells you that your stop loss should be 40 pips, you are not going to now take profit of 20 pips. You are stacking the odds against you. All right. So all these are not just, these are things that we're going to use for our trading. All right, as we go on. Okay. So, okay, now the next thing we'll do is that we are going to calculate, we want to learn to calculate pips. Okay, so how do we calculate pips? Calculating pips. Calculating pips. So you agree with me, guys, that it's not going to be, in order for you to pick 30 pips for stop loss, pick 30 pips for take profit, or pick any amount of pips for stop loss and take profit, you need to be able to calculate it. You need to be able to calculate it. All right? So for you to calculate it, you need to know how to calculate it. And by the time you learn this, you know how to calculate it very, very fast. Very, very fast. All right? So calculating pips is actually very simple. So basically, let's pick a pair that we can use right now. Let's pick a pair that we can use. Let's say we pick, let's add Euro USD here. Let's use Euro USD. We already started using Euro USD. Okay. So let's use Euro USD. Sorry. Euro USD. Okay. Okay. So Euro USD. Let's go to Euro USD. We'll come back here. But let's go to Euro USD first. Where is my chat to? The network is really misbehaving. Sorry, it's still loading. The network is not. Okay, please, let's use USD CHF. Let's use USD CHF. Okay. This one has markups. I'm looking for a chart that is just plain. Which one do I use now? Euro CHF. Let's use euros. Let's look for Euro CHF. Okay, so now let's look at Euro CHF, right? This is Euro CHF. I'm just looking for a chart that's plain where I've not written anything or marked up anything. So we can look at it clearly together. Okay, so now look at a trade. Now, one thing you have to understand first of all is you want to calculate pips. You always want to calculate the pip movement from 2 points. From 2 points. So let's say we want to calculate pip movement from here. Where do we pick now? Let's say from here to here. Let's say from here to here. From this point to this point, all right? So we're on a 4-hour chart. This is Euro CHF. Okay, so we want to calculate that. So what we do is we take a horizontal line and we mark that point. Okay, we put a horizontal line on these 2 points. So let's remove this. So we want to calculate from here to here. So what we do is this. We take this, look at the price. Look at where the price is standing here. Look at where the price is right there. where the yellow line, the lines we put here now, look at where the price is. When you put your cursor there, it will show, you see the gray line. You see the gray line there.
Yeah.
The gray line is saying 1.07967. 1.07961. 1.07966 what? 969. 1.07969. All right. So let's, is that so? 1.07969. Okay. So the next one is, yes, that's the first price. So now the second one is this. We can see the second one clearly.
Nice.
The reason why we can't see the first one clearly is because price is currently in that place. Okay, this green line right there that's moving, that is current, that is the current price, current place where price is. That's why we cannot see it clearly. But here you can see it clearly. So the second price here is 1.07430. All right. So now take note of something. The first four figures after the decimal place. Let's do it like this so that we can be clear. Okay. So see this, so you see these last digits that I circled. Those last digits are called the pipettes. Pipettes.
Okay.
So now when we are calculating pips, we basically use these numbers. We use these numbers here. We use these numbers here.
Okay.
This last digit is called the pipette. You can decide to take it as you can decide to ignore it, or you can decide to take it as 0.0. What do I mean by 0.0? If you calculate if you calculate this, now if you subtract this from this, and then your pip, let's subtract it. Let's see what it is. So subtracting that is going to give us what? Subtracting that is going to give us what? 0.00, right? 5 what? 53. Is that correct? 0.0053. So now look at it. You see the last two digits here, that tells you your pips. So if you had only 3 now here, your pip would be 3. If now that we have 53, our pips is 53. Now for this last one, this last digit here, you can put it as 9. What this will mean now is this. This will give you a pip count of 53.9, but you will see it as 539. But it's 53.9 because the 0.9, 0.9 is the pipette. Okay, is the pipette. All right. So the 0.9 is the pipette. So you can even ignore it. You can remove it. It's not a problem. You can remove it. But what's more important is your pip. But you can also add it if you for the sake of calculation. So what I do is this. The easiest way I calculate pips is this. I just pick the numbers, the two numbers, and I decide. For example, now if I tell you that this is the price, we are dealing with a price, and I'm telling you to add 10 pips to it. Let's say we have 1.07960, and I say add 10 pips to it. Add 10 pips to it. So if you want to add 10 pips to this, remember the pipette, and take it as 0.0. So in this case, you can ignore this 0 and then add 10 to this. Let's do it in a way that is easy. Let's say we have 777. Okay, let's say we have 777, and we say add 10 pips to this. So if we add 10 pips to this, that will give us 1.0787. But if we had a pipette added to it, for 0, we will now add that as the 0. I don't know. I hope I don't confuse you guys, because I'm trying to. I actually want to explain this thing in a way that is very simple. All right. So give me a moment. Let me send you another link again. Zoom is trying to log me out, so that I'll explain this a bit clearer, so that we can get this very clearly. Okay.